Good morning, students and staff. I'm Sebastian, and today is October 5th, Monday. Today's top stories are: Walking Back to School Day is coming October 7th. Make plans not to save gasoline and enjoy the morning outdoors. Details will be coming home on Monday. If you have the form for flu mist vaccines on October 7th, please send them to the clinic. That's all for today. Now to Madeline and the menus.
Hey Deer Park, Madeline here with the menu. For today's lunch, we'll be offering peanut butter dipper box, white chicken chili, meatball sub, salad, oranges, strawberry and peach fruit cup, and your choice of juice or milk. Tuesday's breakfast includes chicken biscuit, cereal with graham crackers, yogurt cup with graham crackers, PB&J bar snack pack, and your choice of juice or milk. Now here comes the administration with the Deer Park birthdays.
Good morning. We have some birthdays to announce.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
On October 3rd, we have Nadine Corbett's birthday in Miss Brewster's class. On October 4th, we have Christian Isley in Miss Brewster's class. On October 4th, in Miss Beaver's class, we have Michaela Gonnet. Also on October 4th, in Miss Neff's class, we have Evan Stiers. And today, October 5th, we have Logan Lupico. Happy birthday to all of you.
And boys and girls, we have lots of Caught You Being Awesome tickets to read today. So we have John Bowman in Mrs. Karanoff's class who fixed the lunch tray stack. We have Enrique Colmenera in Mrs. Krasowski's class who was conveying confidence. We have Anesha Coleman in Mrs. Beaver's class who was engaged in silent reading. We have Zoe Fowler in Mrs. Jean de Bien's class for being a safe and respectful student. We have Bianca Merrill in Ms. Sillence's class who had excellent audience manners. T.T. Nugent in Mrs. Farrow's class was an awesome listener. And Genevieve Knapp in Mrs. Neff's class was an awesome listener. Austin Long in Mrs. Albertson's class had awesome audience manners. Gianna Pelicane in Mrs. Beaver's class was an awesome listener. Cohen Ritchie in Mr. Barton's class was working really hard on his math. Griffin McLean in Mr. Barton's class was also staying on task during reading. Viviana Velez in Mr. Barton's class was working really hard during math. Jacqueline Melendez in Mr. Barton's class was listening and working hard. Eddie Montalvo in Mrs. Moore's class was volunteering to hold the door for 2 classes after lunch. Mia Davis in Mrs. Catron's class was being respectful at dismissal every day. Noelle Kessler in Mrs. Skinner's class was helping carry items the teacher dropped without being asked. Joseph Healy in Mrs. Skinner's class carried items also without being asked. Viviana Velez again in Mr. Barton's class was a helpful hard worker. Aiden Bryan in Mrs. Albertson's class was following directions. Evan Collins in Mr. Barton's class was paying attention in music class. Bradley Winfaw in Mrs. Karanoff's class was a polite gentleman. Max Callow in Mrs. Warwick's class was helping students with their work. Brady Rogers in Mrs. Karanoff's class was practicing hard on his multiplication tables. T.T. Nugent again in Mrs. Farrow's class, using good manners in the media center. Trey Koenig in Mrs. Foster's class turned in money that he found by the bike rack. Allison Jacques in Mrs. Zabo's class was a responsible citizen, and Braden Bosley in Mrs. Warwick's class was coming back for a friend. So boys and girls, remember, the way you get a Caught You Being Awesome ticket is to make sure you are following the school-wide expectations.
Good morning. We had Identikid here yesterday, and those of you who participated in Identikid had an opportunity to win a bike. So we put everyone who participated in the Identikid in a basket, and when we drew those names, we have our winner, and it's Ariel Hornbeck. Let's give her a round of applause. Ariel, we know you're surprised. She had no idea she was coming on the news show, but you know what? Your family did because we called them yesterday. So you are a lucky winner for participating in Identikid. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy your new bike.
Congratulations.